Hey stranger, do you wanna have a chat? Could you tell me where you're from or where you're going, where you're at? Hey stranger, could you use a little break from all the way you're carrying and maybe entertain me with your stories and I'll tell you mine. I'm really lonely, I just wanna try. Seeing if we could get lost for a night. So won't you come join me for a drive?
Alright, testing, 1, 2, 3. I am outside the residence of my first stranger, and we are going to invite him into the car now. I hope this goes well. So click record on your thing. Yeah, go ahead. No problem. Okay, now just blink them together. Did it show the waveform? Okay, that should be good. Yeah.
Alright.
So now just hold it like a couple inches from your face, like right around this distance. Like keep it pointed at your mouth.
Alright.
And yeah, that's like your only job throughout this whole thing. You just gotta keep it pointed at your mouth and speak relatively clearly.
Alright. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Get the hang of it.
Okay. So I think the first thing I should probably do is just some housekeeping for you and the potential viewers or like potential future guests of the show, because like right now the show is very much in its incipient stages. Like I don't have a fully fleshed out idea of what I want, but I do have a concept of an idea. And the basic concept for the people watching at home is like I like talking to strangers, and before like I did a thing for a year where like every single day I talked to a new stranger, and it was a lot of fun. And I found myself like getting frustrated by the fact that okay, I would have all these entertaining conversations with strangers, but I could never intrude into their lives in like a more involved fashion, because it was like the conversations would always happen in the context of like 10 minutes between classes here and there, blah blah blah, and like it's just difficult to like become a part of someone's life or like learn more about them and all that when it's a stranger, right? And there's also the aspect of like when you talk to someone and you're facing them and they can identify you, you feel somewhat implicated in like whatever you're going to say. There's like an air of judgment and insecurity and whatnot. So what I hope to do with this production is get like create a new conversational atmosphere where that is just not a concern. And like my guest here, like in the video right now, I can see his face, but you as the viewer, you are not going to be able to see his face. It's going to be totally censored, and I think I'm going to change his voice with AI as well to like make it totally anonymous. And I feel like just intuitively that's going to make for a much more liberating conversation where he doesn't need to feel like self-conscious if he says like something weird or fucked up. And if we go down that route, we can just explore it like in a non-judgmental kind of way and like see what comes out of it, because I feel like that's the most like interesting, and that's where the most interesting and engaging conversations come from, like in my personal experience of just like searching without really knowing what you're looking for. So and the premise of the show, where like I start out by just finding a random person who I've never interacted with at all and asking them to like get in my car for like an hour to 3 hours or however long it goes. That's kind of a fucking insane premise when you think about it. Like it is, you're basically just giving consent to be kidnapped, and that is it's a very daunting and scary situation. And I totally sympathize with the concerns of any viewers that feel like, yeah, I don't trust this guy, I don't know who the fuck he is, like why would I get into his car? And this fine gentleman right here, he made that leap, and we're about to see what happens from that. So I think now I'll just like ask you a couple questions about what you think of this concept and what concerns we can address from the point of view of someone who I'm making this pitch to, you know, because I'm going to be asking other people, and they're going to be afraid. They're going to think he could be a rapist, he could be a murderer, he could be, you know, he could chop me up into pieces and eat me, or like store me in his fridge, right? All that shit. And I want to put them at ease, and yeah, like so what can I do to make them feel as comfortable as possible?
I think in my mind, the first thing that came out of my mind is just provide them, like, you know, a couple of candies.
Okay.
I think that's like the first step.
Sure. Yeah, a couple candies. Tell them I got a big white van.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a big white van when you think about it. It's just a big white MG. But yeah, for real shit though, like, I think we could do maybe. Okay, let me think. Like, if you have a buddy who you inform before you go on the trip, or if you want to bring a buddy along with you on the trip, that would be cool too. Like, I just don't have an extra mic. I could get an extra mic to capture their audio too. So in that case, like, if you do feel physically threatened by me, which you shouldn't, because I'm a fairly scrawny guy.
We'll see about that.
Yeah. You would have me physically outnumbered, so that's not a threat for you. So yeah, I think that's a perfect solution.
Yeah.
Outside of that,
I think like for starters, it's gonna be really difficult to find like random strangers. So I guess to begin with, you can, like, you know, ask a friend of a friend, classmates, stuff like that. You know, the more and more you like start podcast, have a few episodes with them, the more and more people, you know, recognize your work.
Yeah, I get that social proof.
Join you.
Yeah. So that is what I'm thinking of doing. Like, I've gotten you lined up. I've got a couple other classmates, friends of friends, etc. So for the first couple, I'm kind of cheating, okay? But like, what I eventually want this thing to come to is just, I feel totally comfortable going up to a random stranger and inviting them into my car, and then we talk for however long we talk, and then we just never see each other again. Just like no contact, just that's it.
But we are going to see each other, right?
I don't know. I think in our case we probably will, because we have our mutual acquaintance.
Mutual friends,
yeah. But but for future guests, I just feel like it adds a sort of, you know, sentimental, romantic dimension to it. If you just say like, and that's it, bitch. Like, we're never meeting again. So yeah, that's it for the housekeeping, and now we can just talk about whatever you want to talk about. All right.
All right.
Sounds good. So I already know your name. I'm not going to say it now because I just don't want to edit it later on, because I'm going to be censoring it. So, yeah, where are you from?
Where are you going to edit that out to? Or is that fine?
Actually, I could edit it out. Do you want me to edit it out?
Actually, it doesn't matter.
Okay, sure. All right. Like, any identifiable information that you give that you think, you know, I don't want that to be in there, let me know and I'll take it out.
Okay, yeah,
and the same goes for you too, whoever's watching this. Like, I'll respect, like, when I invite somebody into the space, I recognize the fact that I'm asking you to do me a huge favor by getting into my car, right? I would never want to betray your trust in any way. So I really do appreciate what you're doing here. Like, this is really cool what you're doing. And yeah, I'm not gonna fuck you over in any way. So yeah. Where are you from?
In that case, I'm from Indonesia.
Sounds good.
Well, I'm not really like the fully part of the Indonesia. I have like few ancestors from different countries. I don't think I'd like to disclose that, but
sure. Yeah.
I like to tell people that I'm Indonesian. I'm fully Indonesian, you know.
Okay.
So we don't get, you know, like into the deeper, you know, part of myself.
Yeah.
Second of all, thank you very much for having me here. This is actually my first time.
Awesome.
Like, you know, getting to talk with random strangers.
Thank you so much for coming. Like, it really means a lot. Yeah. So on that point, like what you were saying about not telling people about your deeper ancestry or whatever, is there? I'm guessing you didn't grow up in Indonesia, did you?
No, I grew up in Qatar like since birth.
Okay, yeah, so you're like a third culture kid.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Is there a thing in Indonesian culture where they say like never forget your roots, like don't let the white man change you, or what like that kind of?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Actually, a lot. And like the Indonesian community is as toxic as you can imagine. You know,
I actually have no idea.
When there's a single like outsider, they would like immediately judge you for for who you are. You know, even if you're like half Indonesian, and they like to stick in the other part of their culture instead of the Indonesian side, they would immediately judge you, for not accepting, who you are and where you came from and stuff.
Yeah, okay, so they view it as kind of like a tacit act of betrayal when you
that's right.
dip into other cultures. Okay. So what do they speak in Indonesia? Is it?
They speak Bahasa.
Okay.
It's basically, Bahasa means language. So, like, the full, what do you call it? The way they call their language is called Bahasa Indonesia, which translates to Indonesian language.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you fluent in Bahasa?
Not really. I can answer a few questions, but I don't think I can start conversations with it.
Or so is that like one of the things that your Indonesian compatriots would make fun of you for, or like ostracize you for? Okay.
Yes, that's right.
Or yeah, that's like a sort of a similar thing in Indian culture, where like for my background, like I grew up speaking Hindi Urdu, and I used to have like a conscious attitude of like, fuck English, I never want to speak English, that's the language of the Americans, I don't want to be like them, blah blah blah. And it was like a very like I had a complex about it. But then like as I grew up and I got like more like I went to American schools, and all my friends spoke like this accent of English, and I picked it up. And eventually over time, like I just like all the content I consumed, all the music and movies and books I'd read, like it would all be in English. And it got to the point where like I started thinking in English. And now it seems strange to think that there was a time when I thought exclusively in Hindi Urdu, So, and now like when I try to interact with my extended family and like speak in Hindi Urdu, like I just come off like kind of autistic and retarded in the sense of like like I just stumble over everything. It like the cultural references, it takes a second for me to get it, and yeah, it's an unfortunate wedge in terms of like being able to relate to them. So, yeah.
I also didn't know that you were what did you say, Indian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm Indian originally.
Okay.
It's kind of the same situation with you. Like whenever people ask, like where am I from, I'll say like I'm from India originally, but then like I have an ambiguous impression of what. Like I don't want to get too deep or philosophical with it when someone just asks a basic question of like where you're from. It's like if you ask someone how are you doing, and then you answer
I'm good.
Yeah, like, you're not gonna go into like deep shit.
Right.
But yeah, I think identity is just a weird. Like I don't spend too much time dwelling on it.
Yeah.
I just kind of do my own thing, and yeah, it just feels weird to attach myself to one identity.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So from here we shall pivot to oh, by the way, like if at any point in the conversation it gets like into a bit of a lull or an awkward thing, I'll take that out too. Like I'm only keeping in like the interesting shit that like flows naturally. So
Okay.
yeah. You got any hobbies?
People always ask me that question.
Okay.
It's kind of like I don't have an answer for it, but I need to answer something. Like the things that I do in my free time, I don't even consider them as hobbies.
Okay.
Because I like watching movies. I like, sometimes doing my, my assignments and stuff. I don't like to sleep.
Yeah, feel ya.
But if they mean like activities like sports and stuff, I don't know about that. Like I go to the gym like regularly.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've played any like sports like football or it's just hard for me to get attraction to these things.
Yeah, no problem. Like, what kind of movies are you into?
Usually action.
Okay.
Actions and horrors and stuff.
Or did you see Joker?
The Joker.
Is that out now? The part 2 of Joker?
Oh, the part 2? Oh, yeah. Can't wait for that. I'm not sure. What are your hobbies?
I'm into a bunch of different shit. I'm really into content creation as of late. Like, I just make a bunch of videos, podcasts like this thing. This podcast is a new thing, but I've been posting on YouTube for a while. I've been doing video essays, songs, like music. I've kind of laid off the music for the past couple of years, but I'm trying to get back into it, like with this. Because the issue I found with the music thing is that what I would do in high school is just I'd spend so much fucking time on these songs of like writing and mixing and mastering and producing them and all that, like self-made bullshit. And literally, like, maybe each song I'd put like 200, 300 hours into. And then
was the audio that you sent me, was that you?
Yeah.
That was, like, I gotta say, like, it sounded really nice.
Thank you.
Like,
Appreciate
I really loved it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Thanks, man. That means a lot. But yeah, so the issue I kept running into when I was releasing music more regularly is I put all this time and effort and blood and sweat and tears into these songs, and when it came time to release them, there's like so much other tangential shit that isn't related to the actual music of like promoting yourself on Instagram and TikTok and Reels and all that, and reaching out to blogs. And I'm like, at the time I was so much more insecure and self-conscious than I am now, and it like just got me in a funk of like, okay, what fucking post do I have to make? What cringy caption do I need to write? Like, how can I get people to engage with this post so that they can go to the song? And it just made the whole experience of releasing music so much less enjoyable. Like, there was no way for me to just put it out to an audience of people who would reliably like consume it and like actually build some momentum from that. It was just like the process of releasing it took so much out of me. So yeah, like one thing that I hope to do with this platform that I'm trying to create now is that, like, I think with most art, the reason you fuck with the art, like, first, the art obviously has to be good, but like when it comes to artists that you identify with on a personal level, it's usually because of how they conduct themselves in interviews, right? Like, you get a vibe of how they are socially, and you think, okay, I fuck with this guy. I want to see what else he's put out. Like, maybe it could be cool, and you check it out, and it is cool, and then you build like a deeper relationship with the person of like, I feel like I know you, I fuck with your vibe, and I want to support you through that. And I think podcasts are a great way of doing that. Like, you just an hour of audio that just, it's very hard to fabricate like a persona that you don't actually have, and yeah, you just get like the truest, most genuine expression of a person's personality. So yeah, that's what that's what I do with music, and I'm trying to get into writing. And yeah, I kind of like, the dream right now is to build a media company, like from a private publishing feed that, like, Patreon, right? Yeah, so 2 years ago I started a YouTube habit where I'd post to YouTube like every single day to get over my like anxiety and neuroticism and whatnot. And like the content was fucking ass. It was terrible, but over time you just keep pressing upload every single day, like you get over it, right? And now it's kind of evolved into a thing where I'm actually starting to sound kind of intelligent and cogent, and like like actually entertaining and incisive, and like it's kind of morphing into a thing where if I got like some actual funding into it, and I could actually just make whatever comes into my head into like a product, then I could just make like my own personal Netflix sort of thing where like somebody could pay $5 a month to get access to like my entire back catalog of shit. And not to suck my own dick, but like, it's really good shit. Like the first 2 seasons, like, I've categorized them into seasons because I'm a bit pretentious like that, but like the first 2 seasons are ass, but like 2023, 2024-ish, like moving forward, it gets really good. And yeah, this. I think I'm gonna put this in 2024, and I'll probably like make this thing its own channel. Yeah. So those are like the coals that I have in the iron, or whatever the expression is. I don't know how it goes, but yeah, that's like what I do in my free time mostly.
Yeah, it doesn't really like not all of it doesn't have to be like some serious conversations and stuff. You know, like podcasters nowadays or like YouTubers, they just mainly like shit posts and post whatever they feel like, and progressively as time goes on, viewer gets up, and they start to come up with their own ideas. They start to make it like as what do you call it, like a regular thing.
Yeah. Yeah. The one thing I'm kind of struggling with now is that, like, I made a couple of video essays that have gotten like 2,000, 6,000 plus views, and like I've gotten a bunch of subscribers off of them, but like I want to make my YouTube channel like a bit more like I want it to. Are you familiar with Louis Rossmann?
Louis Rossmann? No, never heard of it.
So he's a computer. He's like a MacBook repair guy in New York, and like his channel, it's an amalgamation of like all the different shit he's into. So he's got this cute cat that he likes showing off, and he tells his viewers about like his problems in business and life, and it's just like an open diary that people can read into and see, like learn from this guy's experience. And I want something like that. What I'm struggling with now from a marketing and branding perspective is just how do I build a loyal audience of people who are sold on the idea of me in that same way, where it doesn't really matter what I'm doing in any specific moment, and it's just like they just want to see what would I do in a given context, and they're clicking on the videos for that, rather than just they want to get political commentary or music or just something like a discrete niche that isn't tied to me. Like I want to make myself the niche,
I think it mostly attracts with the relatable things that that also involve with other people. Like for example, something terrible happened to you, like today, and it also happened to someone else, and that's probably why they are curious on what happened to you. As it went through them as well. Like some of these relatable moments.
Yeah.
Something that can relate to them.
Yeah. So you got any interesting troubles going on in your life right now, or everything's hunky dory?
I don't know if they're pretty interesting. It's just some couple of like mishaps going on in the university.
Okay.
With my courses and stuff.
Or
yeah.
Also, it's just like administrative shit.
Oh no, it's just some classes and groups and stuff.
Oh, group work.
Yeah. The thing is that 4 years I've been through this university. I've been waiting for opportunities, to do something. Like outside university does. Doing these projects, inventing something. Research and development.
Okay.
But
what's your major?
Mechanical.
Okay.
I'm mechanical, yeah. What's yours?
I'm accounting.
Accounting.
Yeah.
Okay. How far along have you been?
This is my third year now. Third year, first term.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just having crisis, with what's going on, like at the moment.
Crisis with at uni?
With people involved in the university.
Okay. Yeah, so spill the tea, sis.
Shit, I don't know where to start, because there's this one story, but it involves a lot of people in the university, and I'm afraid they might know, who I am.
Okay. If it's any consolation, I can release this like 4 months after we.
4 months after.
Yeah. Like I can put whatever time delay you want on it. I'm just looking for the story.
Okay.
Yeah. because like just from a content point of view, like to explain it to you, like the juicy shit that like gets people's emotions flowing and you know gets them you know excited about that person fucked him over, he should have done this, should have done that, like the stuff that gets people commenting, that's really like what I'm after, like in the series. So yeah, again, like don't share anything that you don't feel totally comfortable sharing, but yeah, I can take whatever steps you want to take to make sure that it doesn't negatively impact you if you do choose to share it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay, well, 4 months. Damn, I think I'll still be in the university. 4 months.
How about 6 months?
6 months. Let's see.
What year are you?
I'm in my 4th year.
Okay.
I got like 1 semester left.
Okay.
Man, I really want to tell the story.
You really want to tell it?
Yeah.
8 months, okay.
Okay, I'll think of something else. Like I just it's better safe than sorry. You know?
Okay, sure.
You know?
Yeah. So how did the relationship progress, and like where did it go from there?
I mean, we argue like from time to time. We didn't really like I call it put labels to ourselves.
Okay.
We just say that we like each other. You know, we do things. You know.
And was she bringing up like the "what are we" conversations, or?
Oh, never.
It was coming from you?
They're always coming from me.
Oh, okay.
Like I get too emotional, like too emotional, too, what do you call it, possessive.
Yeah, I feel
when these kind of things.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a really hard time for me to find someone, you know, that I love, or like, you know, to date, you know, for long term. Because I can be toxic at times, you know. That relationship with the catfish girl.
Yeah.
I was like, most of the time, I was the one being toxic.
So it did blossom into like an actual relationship?
It never did. Yeah, she left the country.
Oh, okay. And like prior to her leaving the country, it was just like in a weird limbo state of you didn't know what you were, and
yeah, that's right.
Okay. So this is you at like 17, 18, 19, yeah?
Yeah, I was 18.
Okay, 18. What was your philosophy on dating and relationships and all that, like at the time?
At the time, I don't know. I couldn't say. I'm not gonna say that I didn't get any, but I've had a couple of few. It's just that it's hard to, you know, to find one. You know, like it's gonna take me like a few years to find, like just one person to, you know, to put labels on, or like, you know, to go on a date. You know, I was having trouble, like, you know, starting conversations with people from different genders, like.
Yeah. I mean more like when you're going into that interaction, like what is your goal? Like what do you want to accomplish there? Because like, but one thing that's always kind of amused me when I see young people getting into that kind of thing is like when you're when you're in a relationship with a person at like 15, 16 or whatever, and like you don't really know who you are, and you're kind of just like using each other's parents' money to go on dates and shit. Like it seems like, I get it, you know, like it's cool to have a companion and you know, someone you can talk to and fall in love with and all that, but in my mind it seems kind of naive to assume that like you're gonna spend the rest of your life with this person. Like, is there, like, in your mind when you were going on those dates, did you have a feeling of like, okay, this is clearly just for a, you know, while we're in high school, and then you know, I'll fuck off and like find somebody better, like this is just me developing myself as a person kind of deal? Is that what you were thinking?
I used to think like dating used to be like this is a serious thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not just dating to find the right person, or like, you know, just to find a random person and then just, you know, breaking it off like the next year and, you know, moving on to another. Like I used to think that it was like a serious matter.
Yeah, so ultimately, like, with the goal of marriage in mind, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess that mindset, like, made me kind of like, what do you call that? Have detachment issues. You You know,
Okay.
like once I got with this person, I really don't want to like end it. You know, even if we have like a lot of like differences.
Bro, just like before you continue, like point it a little bit more at your mouth, kind of like at an angle, because like right now, yeah, it's like it catches it directly. Because if you point it up, it's gonna just go right there.
Okay.
Okay,
I didn't know that.
no problem. But sorry, you were saying
What was that?
something about you have attachment issues.
Oh yeah. I used to think that like dating used to be like a serious issue,
Okay.
right? Like a serious matter.
Yeah.
But it gave me a mindset, you know, to think that I kind of have like attachment issues. You know, like once I get to know this person, like I don't really want to, you know, cut it off. You know.
Yeah.
Like even if I have like differences, you know, we argue like a lot, but I just don't really want to like cut things between us.
Just like the presence of the other person makes you feel comfortable,
Yeah,
and like you don't
that's
want to
right.
rid yourself of that comfort.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
But mind you not, this was like years ago.
I see.
You know?
Yeah. So, like one thing I know about you now, I'm assuming you're Muslim, right? And is your girlfriend Christian?
Currently?
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
She might be. She might watch this. Like,
Yeah. Okay, so censor whatever you want to censor if you do, or I'll take it out. But I'm just interested to know, like given what you told me just now, I'm assuming like when you entered into the relationship with her, it was from a place of like, wow, I really love this person. Like I want to, spend a lot more time with them. Inshallah, like get married to them at some point, right? And yeah, obviously, like when you have two differing belief systems like that, like, do you guys ever talk about that, or how do you navigate that?
I have actually.
Okay, yeah. So how does that go?
Like the first rule. Can I disclose her nationality?
Yeah, I mean it's up to her. I can take it out if she doesn't want me to put it in.
Well, first rule is never date an Egyptian. That's the biggest rule.
Okay.
No matter how desperate you are, if you are from a different, if you are other than Egyptian yourself, never date an Egyptian woman.
What's your beef with Egyptians?
I don't know.
Because I also don't fuck with Egyptians. Like, just to be totally upfront, like, no disrespect to any Egyptian people watching.
Yeah,
actually,
no disrespect.
some disrespect, because
Yeah.
fuck your people, all right? Like,
Yeah.
But on some real shit, like the 2 or 3 Egyptians that I've had the displeasure of interacting with, they were such assholes. They gave me a bad taste in my mouth for the whole country. Okay, and yeah, I think it's just an unfortunate aspect of your culture that like you have such belligerent representatives like that. Like, so obviously, judge people as individuals, never assume shit, don't paint with too broad a brush, blah blah blah. But as a general rule, I think if you're operating under the assumption that an Egyptian will act like an asshole, you're kind of on solid ground there. But yeah, that's just been my experience. But what's your experience?
I mean, she likes to argue, like every now and then. I don't like arguing is like the normal thing.
You're talking about
The Egyptian girl, yeah.
Okay.
The catfish girl.
Oh, okay. She was a catfish. All right.
Yeah, she was the catfish. I don't know, for small things. I can't remember it from the top of my head, but I remember this one time that I was out with my family.
Okay.
I was out with my mom, so I just like took random pictures of the environment, to check what is it? To check up with her, to let her know that like how I am and stuff, like where I am.
Like you're sending her snaps while you're out
snaps,
with mom.
like in my environment.
Okay.
And out of nowhere, she just started to like spam call me. Like I didn't know what to say. During that call, because the whole time my mom was like right beside me, and I always wanted to like walked away to answer this call, but I never really couldn't.
Are you open about dating and relationships and all that shit with your parents?
With her parents, and now they're like really strict about it.
Okay. So they have no idea that you've ever had a girlfriend or any of
They
that?
have found out once.
Oh, okay. What would they do when they found out?
They just like usually just gave me a lecture.
Okay.
They're really religious. So when it comes to like these kind of like lessons learning, teaching your kids, like they don't really give like hands-on. They just like like rely on the lectures and like hope for the best that that it will never happen again.
Yeah. So, just to backtrack a bit, like I was asking you, like how do you navigate your and your girlfriend's different faiths? And you said for rule number 1 is don't date an Egyptian.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm kind of having trouble seeing like the relevance of the Egyptian thing there.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
If there is no relevance, we can just drop it. Like I can cut that from the thing.
There is irrelevant, but like I don't really want to get like like too deep in it because like I'm afraid I might like come out
expose a
rude
person
and stuff.
No, like speak as freely as you want. Anything that you like, I'll send you the link after we're done. And anything you want me to take out, I'll take it out.
Okay.
So yeah, don't like. Part of the whole point of this project is I don't want you to feel self-conscious at all. Okay, like speak as freely as you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, just don't be inhibited at all. So
Okay.
yeah, go for it. Like what's the connection? Bro, I'm still struggling to see like what is the connection with Egyptian girls and this.
For her, like it's not relevant. Like she's Egyptian, but she's just a nice person. I just want to clarify that.
Yeah. Okay. So coming back to my earlier question, like you are Muslim, your girlfriend is Christian,
Yeah.
you want to get married, you got like religious parents. What are you going to do about that situation? Like, have you talked about that with your girlfriend? Is what I'm asking. Yeah. So what's the vibe there?
We had a couple of conversations about that. Yeah, but like I realized that every time I brought it up, she would like break down. She
Okay.
would break down, like she just don't want to talk about it, because it's like it's a future matter, like it's nothing to worry about like at the moment.
Yeah.
Because her last boyfriend used to always
Bring it up.
bring it up to force her, like to be persistent about, like converting.
Yeah.
But she got really pissed about it. She got pissed about it. She got tired of it.
Is she Catholic?
She is Catholic, yes.
Okay.
And the guy was a Muslim. So, yeah. I think the issue that she found with her previous boyfriend is because he, like, the amount of times that he has been, like, forcing her to convert into his religion.
Yeah.
While at the same time he doesn't even practice any of them.
Yeah.
Practices himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just hypocrisy, right?
Yeah, just hypocrisy at this point.
Yeah.
I guess that's what she finds like very like what do you call that?
Yeah, just shitty. Like shitty, oppressive, imposing.
Yeah. She finds disturbing. There you go.
So do you have like a red line in your mind of like, all right, if this bitch don't convert, like we are not getting married?
No, not really.
You don't have that.
I don't, but I think my life is also like connected some way, like with my family, with my parents especially.
Yeah, definitely.
Because whoever I'm gonna date, my parents gotta love them.
Yeah.
No matter like no matter who they are and like what they do, like my parents gotta love them.
Yeah.
Because like I said, my parents they're pretty religious. Like they like to stay in their safe box.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like I'm in a safe box. Like I don't know what's going on the other side, so I don't want to find out. I'm just gonna stay in my my box. They're kind of like those kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Growing up, I realized what they mean by that. Like I'm religious myself.
Okay. Scale of 1 to 10, where you're at?
1 to 10. I'm educated. Well, I pray 5 times a day.
Okay.
Sometimes, like I would what do you call that? I would postpone, my prayers,
like,
but mostly because of classes and stuff.
Yeah.
But I like to remind myself, to make sure that I did it. Yeah, I think the main issue is like with my parents mostly because I haven't told anyone about this, but my girlfriend knows about this. That I told my parents.
About her.
About her, yeah.
Damn.
I told them like about who she is, you know, like and what I want to do with her, like you know, like how do I feel about her.
Okay.
You know.
How'd they take it?
Really bad. Really fucking bad. I mean, I expected it. I just, you know, didn't expect it to like hit me, you know, like that way. Yeah.
Like, walk me through the scene. So, like, how did you bring it up? What was the setting? Was this at the dinner table? Was your mom in tears, et cetera, et cetera?
Oh, it was just a random time. Yeah.
Okay.
My mom left to, what do you call that? A crochet.
Okay.
Right. My mom loves to crochet. That's like the most mom thing ever.
Yeah.
Right. And like there was one, they were just chilling in their room. You know.
Okay.
My dad is just like on his phone, and my mom is just crocheting.
Yeah.
I just walked in and I just brought it up. I don't know what came.
Do you have like a really close, chill relationship with your parents where you can just bring up shit like that, or is it? What was that like an out of the blue kind of moment in your relationship where they were just shell shocked and they were like, "What the fuck is this guy saying?"
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, it's just out of the blue.
Okay.
Because I'm not really like that close with like any of my relatives.
Yeah.
You know, not even my siblings.
So coming back to like you telling your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how that went. So like they're in their room, your mom's crocheting, your dad's scrolling on his phone.
Yeah, my dad's just going on his phone.
And like, what did you say exactly?
I just I just reminded them, like I just like gave them like a backtrack, like because they like I mentioned earlier that they found out that I had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Remember? And like the way that goes is basically my mom went through my things, like through my bag. Yeah. It's just like a random thing that she does. Ever since she found out that I've been smoking.
Okay.
You know, she found a pack of cigarettes a couple of times in my bag, and that always, leads to a lot of like arguments, like throwing like things. I once ran away. At one point.
Okay.
I left for almost a month. So, yeah.
Wow.
So I reminded them that about my previous girlfriend. They found out about.
Okay.
So I just told them.
Just sorry to interrupt. When you ran away, was that in response to them finding out about this girlfriend thing, or was that a cigarette thing, or what was the issue there?
It was a cigarette thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the first time they caught me, with a cigarette, they basically isolated me, took away, confiscated my devices. I really had nothing. That was the only time that I was forced to read a book.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, the isolation took about a few months. This was during the holidays.
Okay.
Where everything used to be online classes and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That was the first time, and the second time I got my mom caught me, went through my bag and found a pack of cigarettes. The same thing happened. My dad started to go crazy and just what do you call it? Just shave my head. At the moment. Because basically he might have a fear that it was the morning before my class.
Wait, so you're talking about when you told your parents, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the morning of your class, you tell your parents, and then your dad wants to shave your head.
No, this was about the second time I got caught with a cigarette.
Oh, okay.
The second time I got caught with a cigarette, it was in the morning, the morning before my class.
All right.
My dad had a fear that if I leave, to class after this whole, situation, after the whole argument, I might, I don't know, pop another cigarette, buy from the grocery store.
Okay.
So he decided to just shave my head at that moment, and tell me to stay home. I don't have to go out. But yeah.
Well, walk me through the rationale of shaving your head. I don't totally understand that. Is that
I guess it's basically to to.
It's like a public humiliation
ritual.
ritual.
Yeah, public humiliation. He knows that I'm not gonna be able to walk around in public with this with the shitty with a shitty cut. You know?
Buddy, I got a shaved head. All right, it's not that bad.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I've been shaved a couple of times.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm playing, but yeah, go ahead.
I don't really want to go through the same episode, so like, you know, I decided to like.
So you had that.
Things.
You had that in your mind. Oh, sorry. So this is, you're saying, you didn't want to go through that same episode, of like getting your head shaved and all that shit. So you packed your things and that's when you ran away.
I didn't want to get to the same episode where like I was isolated for a few months.
Okay.
You know, because that was like the most boring shit that I've been through.
All right.
Right. So yeah, like I just suck it up, wore a hat, packed my things, and you know, like just fled out the house.
For a month.
Yeah, for almost a month.
Where did you go?
I called a friend, another close friend of mine. We went back to high school. I don't know. The thing is that I wasn't really close with him at that time. Like, it was just a moment of desperation.
Yeah.
You know, I just a few days ago before the incident, I just found out that, you know, he was living alone, like in his house. His parents, like, you know, just left the country.
Okay.
So I decided, like, hey, like, why not, you know, give him a ring.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm glad he accepted the offer. You know, accepted, you know, my request, you know, to stay at his place for a month. Yeah. Anyways, like the whole point of that is that I was honestly shit scared, you know, before telling my parents about, you know, my current girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know.
So like this is what's going on in the backdrop of your mind of like, oh, am I gonna have to leave home again or like all that?
Yeah, that was literally in the back of my head.
Okay.
But basically, like, you know, I don't know what came over my head. You know, I just thought like, you know, like I've been dating her for like a year.
Okay.
For more than a year right now.
Did this happen recently?
This happened a few weeks ago, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, happened a few weeks ago.
All right.
Yeah.
What a retard.
What the fuck is he trying to do? There's nothing on the right. Anyways, I realized that we've been dating for like almost like
1 year.
a year.
Okay.
I think it's been past a year. Yeah.
All right.
A year and a few months. I thought to myself, like I look back at my age. I'm 21.
Yeah.
You know, I should do something in my life.
Yeah.
Because I've never really had like plans for myself. You know, I like to go things like, you know, like with the flow and, you know, like these kind of things. But like when it comes to marriage or like having a future,
Yeah.
like I like to, what do you call it? I get really nervous. I get really nervous when thinking about these things because like these are like really fucking serious. Like I can't fuck around.
Yeah.
You know, if I mess this up, like I might not, you know, be able to recover, you know, like in the future.
Sure.
But I was just trying to, you know,
exercise some caution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to like pinpoint, like I was trying to like make a plan, you know,
Yeah.
for my future. I just like for the first time I didn't really want to like go with the flow.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's like the relationships that I've been, you know, the past relationships that I've been, it never really worked well in the end.
Yeah.
It worked good. It worked perfect in the beginning, but like there's always an end to something. You
Yeah.
know, nothing always lasts forever.
Yeah.
You know, I start to think about it, you know, with my current girlfriend, and I really want to like make sure where we're gonna end up. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just like asked my parents just to make sure that if I'm in the right track.
So what were you thinking like going into this situation? Because I'm sure you must have known that, like in your head, did you think there was a possibility that they would receive it well and be like, okay, great, son, like we love you and we wish you the best, like have
I feel like that reality can happen,
Okay.
but I know for a fact that there might not be what do you call that, happy with what I'm about to say, you know, to them.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact like how they are, you know, with what do you call that, with
Relationships and
with
dating and all that.
relationships,
Yeah.
like especially when that other, like what is it, well, especially when the person that, you know, their children like is
Of a
like,
different
from a different
religion.
religion
Yeah.
or like, you know, different nationalities and stuff. You know, they don't really like to experiment like these kind of things. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I was expecting the worst, honestly. You know?
Okay. What is the worst? Like getting kicked out of the house or something like that?
Probably send me back to Indonesia.
Okay.
Right, because they have this place for me, like for basically for all of my siblings.
Okay.
It's like a religious school,
like a madrasa?
like a madrasa. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So my parents were planning, like send me to the religious school after my university.
Okay.
And I was afraid that day might come because I've been living my whole life, through like internet, through internet and video games and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it feels like, without like these kind of things.
Mm.
That's why like the isolation thing like made me crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was what I was imagining. The worst thing I was imagining. Before I tell them about my current girlfriend.
Yeah.
But
just to point it a little more again.
Okay.
So, okay. So in your mind, you're thinking, okay, but when I tell them, they're gonna send me back to Indonesia at some madrasa, and then what actually happened? How did they react?
Thank God they didn't overreact.
Yeah.
This time, this is the first time that they didn't throw anything, at me, or anywhere else, like in the room.
Okay.
All they did was just lecture me, about datings and relationships and stuff. Because a few days ago, I overheard a conversation. A few days ago, before I told them, I overheard a conversation, through my room, that they were talking to my brother, who is currently in Houston at the moment.
All right.
He's doing his master's, and I overheard they were talking about him trying to find someone to marry. I guess he was talking about a girl that he met
in Houston.
Yeah, in Houston, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were just lecturing him about the things about who you're gonna marry, and these kind of
big philosophical life
yeah,
shit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a matter of right now, on when you're gonna marry. It's more of what are you gonna do with your partner, in the future. Are you sure you're gonna be fine with them? What is it? You're gonna be compatible with them. Yeah, that's right. So I just thought, hey, I don't think it would be that bad. If I tell about me, if it worked for my brother, it'll probably work for me too.
Oh, okay. So he was trying to get with a non-Muslim as well.
I think so. I'm assuming yes.
Because otherwise, why would they give him the lecture?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What did they say in the lecture?
Fuck it, I'll just say it. I told them about who she is. About my girlfriend. What her name was. What she looks like. I showed them a couple of pictures.
Okay.
I showed them a couple of pictures. I told them about their nationality and her religion.
Okay.
And the first thing that my mom said, is that she does not have a future with you. You do not have a future with her. Basically.
Wow. Just laying down the law.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
Just give you a big right sign. You have no future. That's it.
Damn.
Fuck
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of
it's like a knife in your heart.
Yeah, knife in my heart.
Yeah.
It hit me really, really deep.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to say after that. At this point, I'll just shut the fuck up and I'll just listen to them.
Okay.
But I tried to fight. I tried to fight my way.
You tried to fight for your love.
As long as you gotta be a fighter.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're not gonna fight for your love, what kind of love do you have?
Exactly. Facts. So what did you say? Fuck you, you bitch. You can't be talking about. But yeah, that's tough, man. It's because anything you say, you're just gonna get fucked. It's who the hell do you think you are? Where you're living under this house, under this roof. How do you have the audacity to bring a girl who we don't approve of, right? So your mom says she has no future with you, and what do you say in response?
I mean, at that point, like I was speechless. You know, I just tried to like let out like whatever I have in my head. You know, like so I started to like try to convince them. You know, like tell my mom about like like how she is. Like she's a nice person. You know, like she is open-minded. You know, like about like learning. You know, like of
learning about Islam and possibly converting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Possibly converting. I'm not sure about that. You know? But I just told that to my mom. You know, like for the sake of her to calm down. You know,
yeah, she's like
try to convince her. You know, that like you know. It might happen.
She's a special sort of open-minded, where it's like 49% open.
But I don't give her the percentage. Yeah. You know, she can imagine it herself.
Sure.
She told me that she doesn't believe in these kind of things. You know, like converting your own religion to get married. You know, with someone you love.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't really believe in these kind of things because it happened to like a few family friends, you know, that we knew.
Okay.
You know?
Where they got married to a spouse who changed their religion just for the sake of the marriage? Yeah. Damn. Yeah,
So,
and how did that go in their case?
There was a family friend of ours. He's really religious. Like, he came from the same background as we were, right?
Okay.
So, he once married a lady. So was it a lady or woman?
Lady, woman is the same shit, bro.
He once married someone, you know, who recently converted, you know, just because she wanted to be, she wanted to be together with him.
Yeah.
You know? Because they've been going on through through high schools and stuff.
Okay.
It was a really romantic story. Like, I forgot how it goes, but like I remember like sobbing, you know, when my parents told me about them. Yeah.
You're sobbing, and they're just holding it up as an example of like, nigga, you can't be doing this shit, all right? Like, don't do this.
I don't want this shit happening.
Yeah.
I have these like Islamic like lectures, you know, going on in my house, you know, where like it's like Indonesian lectures, you know, like Islamic lectures.
Yeah, do you have like the celebrity imams in Indonesia who like all the parents listen to? Like in India and Pakistan, like, you know, Naman Ali Khan and Zakir Naik, Mufti Menk, like all those guys are like on constant rotation, you know?
Yeah.
Is it a similar thing in Indonesia?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because like we don't really like what do you call that? Like have these kind of like
fandoms,
like fandoms, or like these speakers, you know, these imams, you know, like to listen to, or like, you know, because it's basically like giving us like making us rely on them too much.
Yeah.
You know, like it makes us feel like
you're more attached to that personality of the religion itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that person would be your only source, you know, rather than the authentic sources, you know, coming from books and, you know, like others.
Okay.
So shit, I got lost track.
You were saying you're always listening to lectures in your house.
Oh yeah. We have this like Islamic lectures, like Indonesian Islamic lectures, that people come over to my house.
Yeah. Oh, like physical people come over to your house. Okay.
Indonesian.
And it's like
family, friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, like so it's like a congregation where everyone's meeting up and talking about religion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a couple of times where this couple come visit us, like join our sessions, like for a few weeks. But later on, he started to come alone. Right? He used to bring his wife like every day, like every Friday.
Okay.
And at this one point, like he started to come alone, you know, like without his wife.
All
so
right.
like my parents asked him like, "Oh, where's your wife? You know, like, you know, how is she? Like, are you guys okay?"
Yeah.
And he just he told my parents that she does not feel like, you know, attending it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, because she's been like too caught up with work and other stuff.
Okay.
But most of the time, like, she's free. She just doesn't like really feel like it.
Yeah.
And months go by, he started to not come at all.
Okay.
And then so one day my dad like had a contact with him, like asking, like, you know, like, why didn't you come? You know, like with this is there an issue with, you know, like with your family? Like, is there an issue? Like, you know, we can help. You know, because my dad is like really like, what do you call that?
keep the community close, kind of.
Like, like very friendly, with the
Yeah.
community.
Okay.
Like he would like help like anyone like in the community or like other like Indonesian people.
Yeah.
Because he's really kind, like
Okay.
big hearts to the guy.
Yeah.
He told my dad that he can't go anymore. He can't come anymore. Because his wife doesn't want him to go.
Okay.
She wants to spend time with him, like, she wants to spend more time with him, instead.
All right.
Because she thinks that these like sessions, these activities are like useless because we always like see the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Right.
Would you agree with that assessment, or like how do you feel about that appraisal?
What,
like is she right in what she's saying, or?
Well, what do you mean? Like it's repetitive?
Yeah.
The sessions. I would agree at some point, but most of the like, at majority of it, like, I understand where it's coming from, because like when it comes to like these like religious studies, or like education, like it doesn't matter on what you like, how much you learn about it, how much you talk about it, what matters is that you're reminding it yourself, so like you won't forget, like continue to either gain the knowledge or keep the knowledge until you die, basically.
Okay.
Your religion stays until you die. That's like our slogan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there like an actual expression? Your religion stays until you die in Bahasa, or?
Yes, there is.
What was the expression? How does it go?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Okay.
But like I've heard a couple of those. Like like every time we started the session, like we would like I don't know, start off with like a few words.
And they actually like the words translate to your religion stays until you die. Okay. Yeah. So the guy says, my wife doesn't want me to come because she thinks it's like a repetitive, boring, redundant
waste
of time.
Like she'd rather spend more time, like with her husband.
Okay.
So my parents told me about that, and they were just trying to give me an example, like what might happen, if I were to,
This is the same couple you were saying, like you were sobbing at their love story?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, looking back at it, why the fuck did I sob for? Because they got divorced right now.
Damn.
Yeah. They got divorced. He's remarried to an actual Muslim woman.
Okay.
And they're living a normal life. They're living a happy life.
Yeah.
They have a couple of children.
Did he have kids with the previous wife?
Just a daughter. Just a daughter.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they got divorced because of the religion thing, right?
Yeah, because of the religion, and like they always like argue about like like these kind of things. Maybe just relationship stuff.
So if I'm thinking about your relationship from the perspective of your parents, like this concern that they have that you're just gonna wander down the same path that this poor chap did with his wife. I feel like it's a pretty valid and legitimate concern, right?
Yeah.
So like, how did you respond to that when they raised the issue? No, it's not gonna happen with me. It's not like that.
No, you're wrong. I'm different like that. I'm different. I was speechless most of the time, because like when it comes to arguments, like with my parents.
Yeah, are you the kind of like you just freeze up in the moment?
Yeah, I just freeze up in the moment, because like I'm just afraid that if I say something back, like something might.
Yeah, the consequences.
The consequences.
You got that lump in your throat of like, the words want to come out, but you just can't get them to come out.
And then you go in your room and just start, just shit smacking down. Yeah, I was speechless most of the time. Like I just like throughout the whole lecture, I just let them say the words, like what they're trying to tell me. But yeah,
But they still know that you're seeing her and that it's like still a thing, right?
They still know that I'm seeing her, but they didn't know that we are actually a thing. I didn't really tell her. I didn't really tell them that we're dating. I just told them that, like, I met this girl. We've been, we've been friends for like, a couple of, like, for a year.
Okay.
We've been talking to each other. Just like, I don't know. We've been working together. Just meeting up in universities. Like just going out and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I never really tell them that, like that we were dating.
Mm.
Until this day, they think that we are still friends.
All right.
Yeah.
Man, I do not envy your situation. This is tough, man. You're in quite the pickle.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, long term, well, like, what do you plan on doing to resolve it, or is it's just like a we'll cross that bridge when we get there type situation? Because clearly it's zero sum, right? Like, your parents want one thing, you want another, and there's no real way to make a compromise without just giving up. Like, one side has to give up everything that they want, right? Yeah.
Man. At this point, I've basically put it on hold.
Okay.
It's not something that, like, I would just forget about it and just, like, move on, but it's more like, I'll just think about it, like, some other day, some other time.
Yeah.
Like, when that time comes. Because it also, like, not only depends on my family, but it also depends on hers as well, like.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Like one side of family.
This is only like 50% of the problem. God damn.
Yeah. Because, she told me her parents are, like, her mom is, like, really Catholic.
Yeah.
And she does not, like, her mom is basically, like, equivalent to, like, how my parents are, like, try to, like, stay in the safe zone.
Yeah, the opposite side of the coin.
Yeah, the opposite, yeah.
Yeah.
And the Catholic side, like, when they're, like, I remember this one time where, my girlfriend asked her mom, like, if it's okay for her to buy an abaya.
Okay.
Because she wanted to, like, fit into the, like, to
the Gulf culture.
Yeah, to the Gulf culture,
Yeah.
like, is, like, like, experience, like, what it is.
Yeah.
To, like, as a, I don't know, like, as a Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
And she just, like, immediately just, like, yells at her, like, you're not a Muslim, like, these are, like, Muslim clothing,
Yeah.
like, and, like, these are not just, like, for Arab people, these are, like, like, religious clothing.
Yeah, like it's a religious symbol.
Yeah, like a religious symbol, like, you're not a Muslim, you're a Christian, like, remember who you are. Yeah, like, that, like, when she told me that, like, that kind of, like, I don't know.
But she wears abayas now, right? I feel like I've seen her.
Yeah, she does. I think,
Does she wear them in secret?
Yeah, she wore them in secret, yeah.
That's so funny. I know, like, girls in Houston who will, like, take their hijabs off, like, as they, commute to work or school.
Yeah.
So they're doing that while girls over here, like, secretly
will
like, wearing a abaya.
Dressing modestly.
Yeah.
Dressing modestly behind their parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bought her that abaya.
Nice.
Her first abaya.
Okay.
Yeah. Because,
that's cute. That's pretty romantic.
Because the thing is, I've been trying to, like, like, give her, like, different solutions, like, how to wear an abaya without, behind your parents, like, without your parents knowing, just, like, just keep it in your bag, like, hide it under your closet. But yeah, but I get what, like, how she feels about it, how my girlfriend feels about it, because, like, she's, like, her whole life, her mom has been up her ass,
All right.
Like, she can't do anything without her mom's permission, like, she's really scared of what her mom's gonna do.
Okay.
What her mom's gonna say, like, these kind of things. And, I kind of respect that, like, I didn't want to, like, force her into, like, these kind of things, like, I can't really, like, force her to things that, like, I really want, like, because at the end of the day, it's also her, what do you call that,
her body, her choice.
It's also her, what do you call it, satisfaction, her, like, her...
Yeah, just her choice
happiness,
of, like, what she wants to wear,
exactly,
yeah.
But, yeah, like out of nowhere, she decided to like just suck it up and fuck it, just let's buy and buy. Like okay,
Yeah.
but I know a friend like that knows the place, so like we went together, we bought her first abaya and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, like she's been having that abaya for how long? Like a few months. Yeah, it's been more than half a year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and so far, well, not that I've known of, but her parents never brought it up. Like even though like it's literally right there, like in her closet.
They know, they can see it.
Yeah, they know they can see it, but like I don't think like they brought it up or something.
Have they ever seen her actually wearing it?
No, never.
Oh, okay.
She told me no.
That's interesting. Like, I wonder logistically how does that work with laundry and shit? Because I'm assuming they do laundry together, right?
Yeah, she does it like separately.
Oh,
the first time she was having trouble, like about the laundry situation.
Yeah.
So I just told her that like I just like you can just give me the abaya, I'll just wash it myself. Because she was very delicate with it. Like that was like her first abaya. So like she was kind of like what do you call it? Like very careful on how to how to preserve it, how to maintain it, like how to not like mess up the fabric.
Yeah.
She was like she would say I just told like just throw in like a bunch of detergent, like some put a softener and like just spin it. And she's like, no, like what is it? I heard like I've done research that like it might ruin the fabric, and I've asked a lot of friends that like the color might wear off, so you need a special what is it? We need a specific detergent, for an abaya. And yeah. And when she mentions that, like I realized that I have one of those, like my mom washed her abaya, and like
Yeah.
I remember she had like an abaya detergent. So I just told I just told her that like okay, like give me the abaya, I'll just wash it myself.
Oh.
So yeah.
That's cute. You guys have like a little icon or symbol of your own relationship, like with that abaya now. Like that's neat. But to come back to your story. We were talking about abayas and souvenirs, symbols, something, relics.
About her mom being religious.
Yeah, about your mom being religious.
Catholic.
Yeah. Okay. So her mom is like the Antichrist, or I guess the Christ.
The Christ of my Antichrist mom.
So what's her dad like, or what's their whole family's outlook on the whole thing?
Her family?
Yeah. Do they know about it?
About me?
Yeah.
Yes, they do. It kind of like slipped, because there are moments that like every time I drop her home or like pick her up, before university, her dad would come home from work and see my car, parked in front of the driveway, right? And he mentioned it like several times, like, oh, who's that guy, like you get on the car with, like, who's that guy to drop you off, At first I thought like, oh, it's just a random person, maybe like a friend, like, it could be an Uber. But then more and more, it started to get normalized,
Okay.
where I just come like every day,
Yeah.
Like, he would see, like he would think like, who the fuck is this guy,
Sure.
So, I remember they had to, they decided to talk about it,
Okay.
with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like,
Address the elephant in the room.
Yeah. Just ask, okay,
what brand car do you have?
A Honda.
Address the Honda in the driveway. So yeah, they talked about it, and what did they say?
She basically told the same thing what I told my parents about. Wait, actually no, it's completely different. She just said that like there's this, and for her hers is like kind of like, well, what do you call that? Kind of worst thing to say about me, because basically she doesn't like, and she is scared, like of her mom, like what she might say. Like she's like, so she lied. She basically like changed a few like backgrounds of myself.
Okay.
She basically told them that like, oh, this is this guy in my university. Like he's like he insists himself on dropping me home, You know, he said that it's no matter to him because like his house is like on the way, you know, like to my to my house, and so then what do you call that? We're just friends, you know, like he's just a person in my university. So like I remember like they asked her that that do you like this person? Like, do you know that this person might like you? And she just like went, like, she just pretend like she's like clueless. Like, what? Like he likes me? Like, ain't no way. You know, like, there's no way.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So she basically like, she painted them a picture of like, of me being a creep, of me being like, what do you call that? Like me being like
a predator.
Like me being like very attached to like a person, like to her, you know, like as like a one-sided.
A simp.
One-sided,
Yeah,
simp,
you
like
are her simp.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I like when she told me about that, like I got like kind of like offended, like.
Yeah, that's not even really like a disclosure about your relationship. It's just like, yeah, this random fucking perv, like he's after me and he's dropping me off, and I'm just totally taking advantage of him.
Yeah. Like he offered me a car, like he offered me a ride, so like I didn't know I'm gonna say no to that, you know, it's a free ride. I remember her mom requested a picture of me, like, you know, from her, and she sent the most ugliest picture that she had, you know, like that she kept on her phone, you know.
Okay.
I mean, like, to be fair, like, fair enough, you know, because, like, most of the pictures that she have is just, you know, me and her, you know, like, close together, like, really close.
Yeah.
You know, like, that was the only picture. It was just me in a really, like, crop top cardigan, you know, sitting across the table. And, yeah, that was, like, that picture was, like, the first time we, like, was it? I guess, like, the few stages that where we first met, you know, like, we were friends at that time.
Okay.
You know, like, when I saw that picture, I just get the most biggest ick of all. Like, I realized, you know, like, ugh, like, this is me.
Yeah,
this is me, like,
all right.
a year ago. So, yeah. Until this day, I'm still mad at her for showing her, like the most ugliest picture of me. Like, she could have told me to, like, take a selfie or something, like,
For real,
I could have been prepared, you know, like, oh, you're gonna send this to your mom? Let me just take off my shirt. I keep on getting off track with it, like the whole.
Yeah. Like now that I'm thinking about the how I'm gonna edit this, I think one really good through line is this like whole relationship arc. Like I feel like that's a very compelling and relatable story. Like so many people are in that situation. Mm-hmm. So to get back to that, like. Well, first, I feel like we've said more or less like everything there is to say on that, unless like you have something else to say, right? Because like I feel like I drove home the point that, you know, it is a really tough situation. You said, yeah, I'm really just you know, I'm holding off on thinking about it. I don't know what else I want to do with that. So like when I'm thinking about editing it, I'll keep the intro like where we talk about like the housekeeping and all that shit, and then I'll weave in and out like these anecdotes about the relationship and the progression. I'm definitely gonna keep like the Avaya stuff. Like that's really cute. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But do you have anything else you want to share like on that front? And feel no pressure to say yes. Like I'm just thinking like from a narrative point of view, how can we enhance it or make it? Are there any other interesting details that you feel like people would relate to? Anything like that?
No, I guess it's just, you know, pretty basically, you know, like just like an ordinary, like, you know, love life.
Yeah, no big deal then. We can just leave it at that.
Publish this like in a few months, right? Like,
yeah.
Like a few months, maybe 4. It doesn't matter like when it is, but like, you know, as long as it's like in the like. Not at the moment, like not soon enough.
So, like I said, this is all very new to me. Like this is the first time I'm ever doing this. So, well, whatever works for you. Like I don't want to rush anything, and like I'm just gonna take away everything that identifies you. There are like a couple of different forms that the content could take. Like first, the full unedited episode. I don't think that's ever gonna see the light of day, right? Like I'm gonna be taking a lot of shit out. and because you know there are lulls in the conversation. It doesn't make for an engaging watch if you're going on like 30 different tangents. Like we can just keep that for ourselves, right? So I'll edit that stuff out. And for the thing that I'm actually thinking of publishing, like for this episode, I think it's gonna mainly focus on this relationship, and I'll have different clips that convey that story that I'll post to TikTok. And I'll run all that by you beforehand, and we'll like come to an agreement about, okay, is it okay to keep this in? Is it not? And yeah, we can do that.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, I have no objections, against that.
Sounds good. Do you want to head back home now?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
All right, man. This was so much fun. You really exceeded my expectations. And I just want to thank you so much. Like, you have no idea, like, what this means to me.
Thank you
Like,
so much for having me. Like, this is actually my first time, like, doing this kind of thing.
Yeah, it was really great, really fun. So I'll just, I think now we can end the recording and you can just airdrop it to me, and then I'll try and edit this over the weekend, and I'll show you, like, what I come up with.
Hey
Okay.
stranger, do you wanna have a chat? Could you tell me where you're from or where you're going, where you're at? Hey stranger, could you use a little break from all the way you're carrying, and maybe entertain me with your stories and I'll tell you mine. I'm really lonely, I just wanna try, seeing if we could get lost for a night. So won't you come join me for a drive?